Welcome to my East Sussex allotment, being the third week of April 2017. The priority job this week is to get in my onions. The intention was to put the onions in another bed, but because of the pressure of the potatoes it got left behind. So last year's runner bean bed is now going to be this year's onions. The bed was well manured last year, so it should be okay for the onions. I left the roots of the runner beans in as well, and they're rotted away, and that should give me a good supply of nitrogen. My method of digging is to dig a trench, put the earth into a barrow and bucket, and with the resultant trench at the other end I then fill it with that first excavated soil, bringing it back up to level. It wasn't the first intention to give it such a thorough digging, but what I found was there was still a small amount of bindweed within the soil, and when you strip soil for bindweed you always leave some little bits in which then grow up, and you've got to take them out. Hopefully we've got this now cleared. There I've found a bit of manure from last year and just breaking it up, so it should be good for onions. I then forced the area over, which you always, when you dig, get unevenness in level, and the forking over and then the hoeing with the Canterbury hoe gets it to a level bed. The next job is the raking to get to a fine tilth, and this takes a long time. Really it should be done over days, and I ain't got days, so I give it as many goes over with the rake as possible. I do have part shares in a rotavator between me and my daughter, but she's got the rotavator and she's lent it out to somebody, so I hope she's getting a good rate for it. But I ain't got no rotavator, so I'm using this handheld Aerator, which works quite well. And the whole bed is then finished over with a landscaping rake, and it's not too bad a surface. I marked out the surface with calcified seaweed, the lines being at 8-inch centres, which gave me an 8-inch square. This enabled me to just put the onion slap bang in the centre of the square. At a later date I will hoe this calcified seaweed into the earth. And as I understand it, onions love it. This is the state of the union at the end of the day. I just walked around just to get a general idea of how things were going. Potatoes were still popping up. These red currants have now got berries, and I'm definitely going to have to protect those against the birds. The same goes with the gooseberries, but I need to finish that bed off as well at the bottom. Arriving on the plot next morning, I found that my potatoes have been burnt by the frost this morning, and at lunchtime I'm going to have to go back and bring some fleece and cover these over. Also, I'll have to bring some frames up also to protect the plants that are going in. I'm running out of netting and hoops. You'll have seen the state of this soil last March when I dug it over, and it was wet, and now with the hot weather that we've had in back end of March and April, it's dried like little bricks. So I did try and fork it, but I was wasting my time. So I've dug it out. I'm going to mix sand and compost with it and plant my shallots in the bed. At this point I run out of battery life on the camera, so again at lunchtime I'm going to have to change the batteries around. But I just had enough to take some stills. Lunchtime. After lunch I went into the shed and took out the frames. They've got to go anyway because I keep tripping up over them. I finished them ages ago, and it's just with the pressure of other things, they're in the way. And here we go. I'll put them in the car and take them back to the allotment. This is just a bit of nonsense. It doesn't do any good to anything, but the grandchildren seem to like them, so here we go. So I thought I would put this one up on the strawberry bed. More frosts have been forecast, so on goes the fleece, at least to protect the potatoes. Well, that's the third week over. It's the 21st, Queen's birthday. This evening I'm going to London. It's the marathon on Sunday, and that's one of the best days you can have in the city. It's a real carnival atmosphere. So till next week, bye.